Obviously, as you guys know by now, the Madden 26 first title update came out on the 17th, which, as you guys are seeing this, will be 3 days ago. Now, I've played about 20 to 30 Madden games now, and I'm going to kind of give you the pros and the cons of this past update, what really actually was affected, what has changed compared to what was kind of a little bit exaggerated in their title update, or things that kind of just swapped in general, which we'll be going over in this title update kind of review, I guess I could call this. Right now you can see the Photoshop tool. I'm going to use my Photoshop to cover up this pros and cons list, so that way I have like a little thing that I can kind of tab down as we're going through the pros and cons on this list. But for the first pro, we're going to go over the pros first, then we're going to go over the cons. Most people want to hear about the good things that came from the game and obviously not the bad things. The first good thing that came was running the ball is now more effective than we've seen all year long. All year long, the meta has been pass. We're passing first. Everyone's passing the ball. As you saw in a lot of the MCS gameplay, if you do watch any of that, if you consume any of that content, you saw from the pro level, there's almost no running the football. Like, it is very, 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 very little. Where now, again, normally the pros don't throw the football a lot anyway, but now we're seeing a pretty big meta shift over because of the route stemming and stuff we'll go over a little bit later, has changed the game drastically, right? Running the ball now is more effective than ever. The run engagement is now more effective than ever. Before, we were getting O-linemen that just would not block certain loop blitzes or stunts or whatever, where now we're getting those blocked, which has made running the ball way easier. Now when people just can't come out in dime and spread formations, dollar, and just be able to play regular football, like, it seems like you can run the ball on those formations almost every single time now, which is awesome. The next one is going to be no more stemmed routes. I kind of hinted at this just a second ago, but the stemmed routes in the game were very broken. I mean, you could stem a route. If you don't know what that is, you could take a corner route and bring it all the way down to the line of scrimmage, and your guy would get a glitchy free release off the line of scrimmage. There's no more of that. So now it can be max at 3 yards, which will not give you the same speed boost as you once had. That is fantastic for the game. I think stemming was really fun for a little bit while we had it because it made passing so fun and so OP. But at the same time, it made defense 10 times harder. It made the run game almost unusable because you shouldn't run the ball when you can pass for 3 yards guaranteed almost every single play. I think it makes the game way better not having stemming in the game and having to actually be able to draw up real plays and kind of go back to the old Madden 23 and earlier style where you actually had to kind of have those money plays and break those coverages, which are playing a little bit better after this update. Again, that kind of coincides with running the football. Then, obviously, pass blocking was improved. The stunts got nerfed a little bit. I've run stunts myself. I ran a ton of Texas 4-man pre-patch and post-patch. I ran a ton of different loop blitzes pre-patch and post-patch, and it feels like the pass blocking is a lot better. You can do more at the line now. You can audible. You can shift more at the line now. It seems like they really made an emphasis to try to fix these stunts in Texas 4-mans and whatnot. Now, do they get home? Yes. But do they get home at half of the speed? No. It takes a while for people to get back there. I would say it normally works once out of every 3, once out of every 4 times, which feels a lot more realistic than every single time they're getting back there. And if you know how to adjust to it, now you can block it almost every single time. Now, my next one's going to be no air trucking. If you guys played this game at all, you probably ran into somebody or you did it yourself at one point where you could just air truck, and that has been taken out of the game, and it has been the nicest thing ever for gameplay. Now, does it make it harder to get out of the pocket? Sure. Of course it does. But at the same time, that's how it should be. I shouldn't be having Shedeur Sanders with 76 speed able to speed boost out of the pocket and then speed boost up the field for 10 yards because of air trucking. That was the most aggravating thing of all time, where now players are kind of feel a little bit slower in that sort of effect from the quarterback and tight ends mainly, but it's also super nice for that reason, because now my quarterbacks and tight ends that I'm facing aren't speed boosting all over the field. I love that they finally took air trucking out. That was the most annoying thing to deal with ever. Now, this one's a little bit different. There's no more insta-sheds. I'm talking about in the run game. They had this thing in the game where if you pass rush very well, which again, off the stunts you did almost every single time, you would get damn near insta-shedded in the run game as well because of how they, I don't know how the back end works, but it pretty much would be your players already performing really well, so they get a little bit of a boost in their stats or in their whatever points they get, and they would automatically start getting insta sheds at the D line. It was the most aggravating thing of all time, and you saw it if you played this game for a long time, where your center would just get thrown for 15 yards on an inside zone for no reason. They don't have inside stuff. They would just like randomly happen, where they kind of got rid of that. They patched that, where again, that kind of goes coinciding with the pass blocking. They fixed the run blocking as well. Obviously, why run blocking has been better. There's obviously the no more glitch of quieting the crowd. That was one of the most, again, aggravating things you could possibly face, because all you had to do is put someone in motion. If you quieted the crowd with your quarterback, that motion would go all the way to the sideline and then go up, which 99.9% of defenders did not follow. So that would be a free 5 to 10 yard pass every single time, unless you had to move a corner all the way out there, which then allowed an out route, which then allowed a stemmed corner, which then allowed all these different routes to get open underneath it, a drag route, whatever, because you have to move your corner all the way to the sideline, or else they won't be able to make a play. So that is now gone, which is the nicest thing ever, to not have to deal with that anymore. Also, they're now, again, this is going to sound kind of like counterintuitive of like, oh, you're happy fumbles are in the game. Yes, I am happy fumbles are in the game. The reason being is because there was no fumbles in this ball game until this patch. And you think I'm exaggerating. I swear, right hand of the big man, you would only get maybe, and I'm talking maybe, one fumble every 3 games. Players did not fumble the ball. When this game started, everyone was running Bashaw Tootin as their running back, who had like 60 carrying. He never fumbled the rock. I've never seen him fumble. Players do not fumble the rock. You'd have quarterbacks like Matt Stafford able to scramble, get hit stick, and not fumble the ball. Now it seems like post-patch, there's a lot of fumbles. Not a ton, but definitely way more. If you have a high-power, hit-power player, they're going to hit stick them harder. They are going to fumble. Running backs fumble. Quarterbacks fumble. It feels like everybody fumbles now to the proper amount to where you should be fumbling. Now, is it a little bit much? Maybe. But I'd rather there be almost more fumbles than no fumbles at all. No fumbles at all is one of the worst possible glitches. Pair that with the air truck, and you're in hell with quarterbacks just getting out of the pocket, running with the football, no consequences. So the fact that there's fumbles now is fantastic. It is fantastic. But now let's go to the cons. Obviously, those are the pros. I think those are things that they added that were great, that they fixed, that are great, that you feel so far in the game. Now, again, I've played about 20 to 30 games, so maybe I just haven't seen something yet. But for the most part, I feel like I definitely have seen almost everything now with the amount I've played. I've played squads, I've played ranked, I've played head-to-head, I've played events. I've tried to play every game mode as well to kind of see what's been going on for that. Here are the cons that came with the update. First off, subs. Again, I also played franchise, and this didn't work in franchise, and it gave me a few issues, and it could just be like my thing. But I wasn't able to sub a few times, like when I tried to sub out guys in different formations, like my dime and dollar formations. It just wouldn't work. Like I would have a free safety that's available that could play at free safety that I would have as like one of my backup sub guys. Just literally couldn't get in. I don't know why. Like I don't know why. I don't know if this is like someone else has felt before. I literally could not sub them in. Like it just did not let me. I tried a bunch of different things, calling a timeout, pausing the game. Nothing worked. I tried that multiple times, and this happened about 2 or 3 times now. That is very frustrating. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not ideal. The game feels a little bit slower. This is one of the cons that people are going to hate to see because they play like 2K and other games where if I say the game feels a little bit slower, they automatically panic. And some people love the arcade mode. I think this is a good slower, but I know it's still going to be a con for most people, which is why I put it in cons. The game feels a little bit slower because there's now fumbles. People are now running the football. There's not as much explosion in the pass game unless you have just like super big beaters for cover 3, cover 4. So again, it feels like the game slowed down a little bit. Oh, also sped up in a sense of time, but in the game, like you're only scoring 14-7 to 21-7 if you're running the football properly, and it feels more of like a chew clock game, which isn't as fun. It's like Madden 20-esque almost, but it definitely feels a little bit more realistic, and it feels a little bit more like we did before we had stem glitches and all this sort of stuff like we did the past couple of years. Cover 4 matches still sometimes match for no reason. I mean, I don't want cover 4. I want cover 4 cloud. I want cover 4 whatever. And it just will still match me with the stem, with putting the DBs in flats, all that sort of stuff. Like I've tried it all. I know how to get rid of the match normally, but I don't know why the cover 4 still feels the need to match at random moments at random points in time when I'm not calling it. Now, again, I'm not playing match. It just matches. I know a lot of people have had this problem. A lot of people have complained with random matching going on in the game. This was a thing pre-patch. It's still happening a little bit post-patch. They said they tried to fix it. So again, it could just be a few formations that I'm in maybe, and maybe I'll keep trying it. Again, I don't have a massive sample size, but I feel like 20 to 30 games is definitely a good amount, and this still does occur. It still is annoying to deal with, and zones still don't work perfectly. But again, you're never going to get perfect. But I feel like so far this game has done a really good job of trying to work in zones comparative to last year, where last year they just didn't work at all. 2022, they didn't work at all. Or 2023, excuse me, they didn't work at all. So the fact that they work at least a good amount in this game, I'm really just nitpicking here. It's not the end of the world. Also, hot routes bother me. Reason being, this is a nitpicky thing, but this is something that does bother me and people will maybe agree with, maybe not. Hot routes being all the same timing for every quarterback is not ideal. It's not it kind of takes away from certain quarterbacks being better. I think there's a reason you would want some quarterbacks to have faster hot routes, comparative or whatever. I understand theme teams, they want everyone to feel involved, whatever, but it kind of makes conductor almost useless. Like, everyone's going to have the same timing anyway. Conductor just speeds it up a little bit, and it's 10 AP. There's no real reason for it. Whereas when you have certain players, it creates a purpose for a conductor. You need that conductor for them to kind of match or go faster than these other quarterbacks. And in real life, some quarterbacks audible slower. Like, that's just how it is. They have longer signals. The Cam Newton used to do this stupid shit. But like, that's like kind of a realistic thing that I really enjoyed about the game. That was just a little nitpicky thing, but I mean, again, it's just me being nitpicky, but I feel like it was better when everyone kind of had different timings of thing and gave guys unique stances and whatnot. Then my last thing is still X Factor glitches are in this game. Like, sometimes like it'll say you have 3 X Factors available and it only allows you to put in 1 or 2. I know there's ways around it and I've worked around it multiple times, but for those that are newer to the game, this could be probably one of the most aggravating things you could ever deal with. And again, as someone who's not a casual, it's not the end of the world, but I know there's a lot of casuals that play this game, and it is probably the most aggravating thing of all time if you don't know how to fix it properly. So they need to just get rid of that. Like, it needs to stop ghost X factoring. It's super fucking annoying. They've been doing this for 3 years and it hasn't been fixed, where it just says you have 3 X factors available, and then it'll say, oh, you've reached the max X factors after you've only put on 1 or 2. I hate that it does it. It's super annoying. There are workarounds around it, and if you have this problem in the comments, drop it down below. We'll definitely have people help you out, as well as myself. But for the most part, this is still in the game, super annoying, and they definitely didn't fix that. Other than that, those are kind of the main takeaways I have right now. Again, still playing the game, still kind of going through it. But after 2 days of playing in this update, this is kind of what I've come up with. I think there's more pros than cons to this update. I'm really enjoying the gameplay of Madden 25. I think it's a very smooth and kind of, I don't want to say fun, but it is fun. Like, I'm having fun playing the game again, which I haven't had fun playing Madden in 2 or 3 years. So it's a lot of fun to get back on the game and be having fun playing, especially with the boys and whatnot, as well as just in ranked head-to-head and whatnot. I think the gameplay itself is pretty enjoyable so far, and it's definitely on the uptick compared to the past 2 years. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys have noticed. If there's something I missed or something you maybe don't agree with and you've experienced differently, I'm always open for the conversation. I love hearing that down below. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, all that sort of fun shit down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.